Hello, good evening. Welcome to Literature's Austin. And today we'll be looking at a song written by Taylor Swift. We'll be treating it as if it were a poem. Its title is I Bet You Think About Me. As usual, before we even start going deep into the poem, we'll first look at what does the title have to tell us. What can we say about the title? For me, a title like I Bet You Think About Me, it feels like the speaker. Remember, I told you when we won't be referring to the writer here, we'll just be saying the speaker. So for me, it feels like the speaker is kind of daring another person of like kind of saying, I bet you think about me. Like think about two friends who knew each other for probably they were close friends and they suddenly broke up for some reason they broke up and then one of the friend then comes along to kind of challenges the speaker or the other friend and saying, I bet you still think about my friendship. It's very in a way, it's very taunty in a way, something of that nature. Anyway, so let's get started. 3 a.m. and I'm still awake. I'll bet you're just fine, fast asleep in your cities. That's better than mine. And the girl in your bed has a fine pedigree, and I'll bet your friends tell you that she's better than me. So again, I love how it's very storied in a way. So it seems as if they are telling a story. Um, one of those days when you just lie down on your bed and you're just you know thinking of different things, and probably at 3 a.m. your mind is just rolling all around, and then you think about this friend or this. I would say the relationship was very close. I'll tell you why in a minute. But around 3 in the morning when you're supposed to be sleeping, sometimes your mind just roams around, and then it roams, and then you then think about this friend or this close friend, and then you say, I bet that the way I'm thinking about you, okay, I bet you are just fine. I bet that you don't feel anything you know, about how you have affected me or how the relationship I had with you had affected me. You just broke up, and I'm sure that you are just fine. In fact, you are asleep in a city that's better than mine. So right off the bat, it kind of creates this. I would say, let's say, low self esteem in a way, but this sassy tone, and I want to show you why. Because of this line where she said this thing, you are fast asleep in your city that's better than mine. Throughout the whole throughout the whole poem, we'll get to look at the speaker will consider or throughout the poem, the speaker considers herself as kind of inferior to the friend. Like I said, I don't think they are friends. We'll get to why I'm sure they aren't friends in a minute. But throughout the whole poem, the speaker will continually continue to belittle herself, let's put it like that. And so this line where she says, you're just fine in your city, and then fine in your city, you're not thinking about anything, you're fast asleep in a city that's better than mine. I imagine this is probably something like an urban city versus a rural community. And the next line says, and the girl in your bed has a fine pedigree, and I'll bet your friends tell you that she's better than mine. This is another line that kind of points to the fact that our speaker believes that um she's kind of inferior than the other person. And okay, I also love this person where this line which said, and the girl in your bed has a fine pedigree. Pedigree simply means like family history, So she's saying that the girl in your bed, I'm betting, and I love that. Okay, and the girl in your bed has a fine pedigree. Like, my family wasn't really that off, but I am sure that whoever is in your bed right now, And for someone to be, especially a girl, to be in speaker's bed, or not the speaker, this whoever speaker is speaking to the bed, it's having like a sexual relationship, let's put it like that. And then I'm sure that this person that is in your bed has fine wine, or she has a better social class, let's put it like that, or a better family history than mine. Like I said, she's doing all she can to belittle herself. Okay, so I'll bet your friends tell you that that friend, that girl that has a fine pedigree is better than you. Let's keep going. Well, I try to fit in your upper cross circles. Yeah, they let me sit in back when we were in love. Oh, they sit around talking about the meaning of life and the book that just saved them that I hadn't heard of. So let's see, let's talk. So she said that I love this again. Another word that I'll see tries to belittle her and uplift whoever she's talking to. She said, well, I try to fit in with your upper crust circles. I love that word, upper crust circles. I'm not sure if it's even, I don't think it's a standard word, but let's think about what's that. For me, that word, upper crust circles. Okay, think of a cake. Think of the cake, the top of the crust, and then the circle of friends. I try to fit in your upper class circles of friends. I love that. The fact that they didn't complete the circles. She just literally said upper class circles or upper crust circles. Knows how Taylor is spicing up. She changed the language to she switched up the language to something you wouldn't really expect. So, yeah, they let me sit in back when we were in love. Like I said, she feels like she's not up to their level. And yeah, they let, okay, oh, they sit around talking about the meaning of life. Think about that, this sentence, they sit around talking about the meaning of life. It feels very philosophical in a way, the meaning of life. It seems like a question that a philosopher would want to try and answer. And our speaker does not have that kind of technical background, because look at what she said in the next line. They also talk about the book that just saved them, books that I have not heard of. Think of a book like Rich Dad, the Rich Dad Poor Dad. I've forgotten the name of it. We know all this philosophical books, or books about self motivation. The books save them, but these same books she has not heard of them, and yet these people are literally talking about them. It makes us feel as if, or it makes the writer feel as if she's not part of the circle of friends, or she's not part of that class. I think that's the best word. She's not part of the class. And I don't know. I love this. I don't really want to talk about some of the pictures that I used in designing this file. I actually love this little man, and the reason why I put this little man is because the speaker feels like they are not on the same level. The speaker feels like she's rich. Sorry, the speaker feels like she's not like on the same level with whoever she's talking to. And remember what I said, I believe those two were in a romantic relationship. And what was my reason for saying that? Because she said, yeah, they let me sit in back when we were in love. So they, like I said, they were probably exes. Now, I mean, now they are exes, and she's looking back at the past. I tried. She literally used this past tense. I tried. They let me sit in back when we were, this word where they sit around talking about the meaning of life and the book that just saved. So it's all everything is, she's kind of reminiscing on everything that's happened in the past. And she's just thinking, was it the best relationship? Not at all. Let's keep going. Okay, the next line says, but now that we're done and it's over, I bet you couldn't believe when you realized I'm harder to forget than I was to leave. And I bet you think about me. Notice in this verse, she started with, I'll bet you are just fine. Now she's saying that I bet you think about me. And what's the reason why she's so sure that she thinks about you? He thinks about her. Okay, look at this. But now that we are done, so they've broken up. I bet that you still couldn't believe that we've broken up when you realize that I am harder to forget than I was to live. So just breaking up, it was kind of easier for the speaker and the ex. Okay, I think, so I don't confuse the language, I think I should call the ex to whoever she's speaking to, and the speaker, in this case, who couldn't fit into this social class. I think that will kind of save me the stress of thinking what to call them. So anyway, so she said, she, that is the speaker, breaking up with the ex, it was easier for them to leave, for them to break up. But for them to have forgotten, the kind of beauty, the gems that they shared, yeah, it was not that easy. And so when you realize that I am harder to forget than I was to live, and I bet that you think about me, I bet you think about all the beauty, all the love, all the everything that happened in the relationship. Let's keep going. So she said, okay, the next line says, you grew up in a silver spoon gated community, glamorous, shiny, bright Beverly Hills. And I was raised on a farm, and no, it wasn't a mansion, just living room, dancing, and kitchen table bills. Okay, so let's talk. So you grew up in a silver, again, the X. Remember, remember what I said. The speaker does not feel like she and the ex were on the same social class. And look at another reason that tells us that while the speaker, or while the ex grew up in a silver spoon. I love this silver spoon. It kind of spices up the that the idiom born with a silver spoon. Born with a silver spoon means born into a rich family, and then you grew up in a silver spoon gated community. Kind of looks or reminds me of an estate. You grew up in an estate where there was gates, and there were polices. There was a police probably at the security at the gate, all those kind of stuff. You grew up in that kind of setting. It was glamorous, it was shiny. I love this bright Beverly. Bright Beverly sounds very classy in a way. And I love that the bright Beverly, bright Beverly Hill. You grew up in riches, you grew up in, money, you grew up, you know, everything you needed at your fingertips. And of course, probably that is why he had all these upper cross circles whom the speaker couldn't fit in with shiny, glamorous Beverly Hills. Meanwhile, while you grew up in all these beautiful places, that wasn't the same for me, the speaker. I was raised on a farm, and yeah, okay, you could, okay, I was raised on a farm, okay, but not just that I was raised on a farm. It was not a mansion. There are some farms that have mansions. Reminds me of this sort of Ubudu cattle ranch. If you are not in Nigeria, I think you should Google it. Ubudu cattle ranch. I think it's in Cross River, if I'm not mistaken. It's a state in Nigeria. You know, it's a farm actually, just like this person, but it has a mansion because it's literally a tourist attraction here in Nigeria. And it was not that kind of farm. That's what she's saying. It was not that kind of farm. I was not raised on that kind of farm where there was a mansion. No, where I was raised in, it is just a farm that had just living room, where I can live, and kitchen table bills. I love this kitchen table bills. The but still again, repetition of the the kitchen table bills, kitchen table bills. You know, think of this setting where all the letters, all the bills, you know, maybe the mom just at the start of every day, girls goes to the mailbox, brings out everything and just puts it on the kitchen table. That's what that line reminds me of. So We didn't have a mansion. What we had was just, a room with just a living room and, kitchen table, and then with bills on the table. Let's continue. But you know what they say, you can't help who you fall for. And you and I felt like an early spring snow. But reality crept in and you saw it and you said we are too different. You laughed at my dreams and rolled my eyes at my jokes. Again, this social divide, the speaker and the ex, they've noticed it. First of all, it's interesting that they said, but you know what they say, you can't help who you fall for. It reminds me of this I don't know why everything reminds me of something, but it reminds me of this what is called it, all these Nigerian movies where um the one lowly beggar falls in love with the princess, everything like that. You cannot help who you fall for actually. A true love does not matter about whether this person is rich or not. At least that's how it's supposed to be. It doesn't matter whether the person is rich, from a very fancy of the charts home. It doesn't matter. It is not supposed to matter. And then you and I fell like an early spring snow. I'm not really, I'm not really an European or someone from the West, so I can't really imagine how an early. And first of all, I love that I feel like an early spring snow. It's an example of a simile where you compare two things using without okay compare two things using like or as. So she said she's comparing the fact that they they fell in love with they fell in love with each other. She's comparing that action to falling like an early spring snow. I'm not sure. I think spring comes before summer. Spring comes before summer. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. I'm not too sure. I'm not really an European, but I believe that's how it is. And then early spring snow. At just the beginning of spring, and the snow is falling. After winter comes spring, and so you and I fell just the way as that snow fell down, and it feels very in a way. Think of winter has passed. Winter is usually associated with chill, with harshness, with coldness. I know with you cannot really find life. Every life has gone to hibernate in one cave or not, or if they're not hibernating, they're shut out of the environment where the cold weather is so harsh. And then imagine spring. Spring, kind of starts the beginning of in life. It represents the beginning of life. I know these two things crashing together. You and I felt like an early spring snow. Remember, I told you spring snow has to do with, or snow, at least snow falls during the winter season. So you and I felt like an early spring snow, kind of two contrasting things coming together. Um, life and death. Something I was go that feels, life and death. We came together. You and I feel like that snow, and it feels very beautiful because you know the snow. Yes, it's something you play in, but like I said, snow is still represented with death. Is associated with death, and we felt like that. I don't really know. I can't really say anything about that line because, like I said, I'm not an American or someone from Europe or one of those Western countries. But I feel like that's my best interpretation to that line. Um, I would say it also reminds me. Okay, I think a close comparison with something that we experience here in Africa is this stuff when the start of rainy season. I know like the season that we're or at least we are presently in, where the wind is blowing, everything of trying to usher in the rain, but the sun is still there, the harsh weather is still there, but the rain is still coming in and then trying to cool down the heat of everything. So still, I won't say I love it because I can't really tell what that could mean. If you understood what that line could mean, you could drop it in the comment section. But still, I love the comparison. Okay, but reality crept in and you said we are too different. All the, looking at things with rose colored glasses, and where you can't help who you fall for. But still, these two people, or the ex and the speaker, they are, like I said, they are like opposite worlds. They are, opposite in their worlds. They are far apart. This person was rich. The speaker is poor. This person grew up in, he grew up in riches, around rich people, around rich friends, even those upper crust friends. He grew up around them, and then the speaker didn't. In fact, the speaker even found it difficult to even associate with those people because, while they were having their intellectual conversations, she couldn't chip in anything. What was the reason? Because she's not in their class, she's not in their level. Reality crept in, and you said, that's this ex said, we are too different, and you laughed at my dreams and rolled your eyes at my jokes. I love that, laughing at the dreams, laughing at my dreams. Yeah. As a country girl, or someone who's from low background, low social background, um, the dreams that she could be dreaming big, to the ex it could be very small and lowly, and I get why, why the ex would want to laugh at the dream. And for me, it even feels rude. You shouldn't be laughing at people's dreams. But I kind of get why the ex would want to, laugh at those dreams. It's not something very big, it's not something very worth it, and you rolled your eyes at my jokes. Very, 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 very. So this verse just simply, it tells us that they thought they were in love. They did everything. They felt they were in love, but were they actually in love? After all, they are not fit for each other. They are not just fit for each other. So let's keep going. Mr. Superior Thinking. Do you have all the space that you need? I don't have to be your shrink to know that you'll never be happy. And I bet you think about me. First of all, I love how the X is called Mr. Superior Thinking. Still again, the fact that she laughed, the X laughed at her dreams. What do you think? Like I said, the reason why the X did the laughing was probably because to him, these things are really minor. They are lowly. They are not his class. And so he said, Mr. Superior Thinking, Mr. Every time, Mr. I know it all. Let's say put it like that. And I love that Mr. Superior Thinking. It feels like I said very sassy. It feels very sarcastic in a way. When you say something sarcastic, yeah, you're kind of, I would say, I thank God. I don't even know. I don't really know how to explain. But okay, look at this picture. I think this is a very classic example of sarcasm. Look at this little picture. Very impressive. Can you see my excitement? She's saying something, but she means something else, and in a way, it's very hurtful. Look at her face, very flat, and very flat. Something like that is a sarcasm. You say something, you mean and that thing, and then I don't really know how to explain it though. But like I said, that line feels very, very sarcastic. Mr. Superior Thinking. Kind of imagine that kind of talking. Mr. Superior Thinking, Mr. Know It All. Mr. My dreams are too small. Mr. Superior Thinking. Do you have all the space that you need? The space that you need, probably, with my whole load and everything. Do you have all that space now? you know, After all, now I'm out of your life. Do you have, or are you happy? Do you have all the space that you need? Like I said, I'm not really sure what shrink is. Let me just quickly check the dictionary. I'm not really that sure what shrink is, but I suspect when she said, I don't have to be your shrink, I believe shrink should have a negative connotation. I don't have to be. Let's just check what shrink is. I'm not 100% certain what shrink would mean. Because I know shrink is a verb. Shrink should be a verb, but okay, shrink as a noun. This entry is available. Oh dear. I couldn't find it in the dictionary. I don't know why. I guess I'll just leave it in comment section. But my thoughts on what he said. I don't have to be your shrink. I don't have to be I don't need to. There's no such thing. I don't need magic to tell me that, to know that you will never be happy without me. and I bet that you think about me. I bet that do you think remember I love, like I said, the sassy whole sassy tone of this verse, the sarcastic tone of this verse. I know that you won't be happy. I know you. I don't know. I wish I knew what shrink was. I would love to look it up, but I know that you won't be happy. I bet that you think about me. After saying, it kind of reminds me of this saying that you don't know what you have until you lose it. That's what that line reminds me of. So let's continue going. Okay, I bet you think about me. Yes, I bet you think about me. Oh, block it out. Block it all out. The voice is so loud saying, why did you let her go? Does it make you feel sad that the love that you're looking for is the love that you had? Let's keep going. So, okay, first of all, I love this, the fact that, first of all, she said in the previous verse, she said, I bet you think about me. This time she's saying it again. I bet you think about me. Yes, I bet you think about me. In fact, she continues to say, I bet you think about me, like kind of emphasizing, like to I love that she's repeating it, repeating it, repeating it to call attention to it. I bet you think about me. Kind of laying emphasis on the fact that the speaker or the ex thinks about the speaker. And then I love this whole block it all out. The voices so loud, that the voices in his mind, saying, why did you let her go? She was good. She was priceless. She was everything. So why did you let her go? Block out all those voices. Don't let it get to you. I feel she's giving him a command. Unless she's not, okay, maybe she's not giving a command, but I would say, um, she's just saying, okay, I know that you are trying to block out those voices, something of that nature. I know that you're trying to block out all those voices that saying, why did you let her go? Does it make you feel sad that the love that you are looking for is the love that you had? Again, still reminds me of that the expression where they said, you don't know what you have until you lose it. That the love that you're looking for is the love that you had. Let's keep going. Okay, now you're out in the world, searching for your soul, scared not to be hip, scared to get old, chasing make believe status. Last time you felt free was when none of that shit mattered because you were with me. So let's talk. So now that the ex has lost the speaker, he's going around. I love that, searching for your soul. Again, it feels very philosophical. You've lost this person that made you feel whole, and then now you're trying to search for your soul. You're trying to, find a form of replacement, to try and replace that what the speaker or what the speaker meant to you before. You are searching for your soul. I love that. Searching for your soul. Again, like I said, it feels very philosophical. What you've lost still ties on to that fact that you don't know what you've lost. You don't know what you have until you lose it. Not that you have lost it now, you're doing all you can to try and search for a replacement. Again, that girl that was in the bed of better pedigree, that's better family history than the speaker. Again, all those facts trying to, I don't know, I'm in love. I love that line, kind of like a comeback. Is it a comeback? Kind of like revenge, something of that nature. Scared not to be hip, scared to get old, chasing make believe status. Now that you have lost this person now, you're trying to chase something that will make your heart whole again. Chasing make believe status. The last time you felt free was when all that, whatever, it didn't matter. And why was the reason why it didn't matter? Because of you were with me. So let's go. Okay, again, I think this is a repeat of that first line. That I think this should be a bridge. I'm not sure, but now that we're done and it's over, I bet it's hard to believe. But it turned out I am harder to forget than I was to live. And yeah, I bet you think about me. Okay, I believe this, and it turned out. I'm not sure if it was oh dear, oh Cassandra. I'm not sure if it was there when you realize that I'm harder. Okay, okay. Now look at it. That verse had it turned out, but this verse is when you realize that I'm harder to forget. It turned out, after chasing everything, it turned out, I was harder to forget than everything. Chasing make believe status. I was just look, I was significant in your life. I think that's what she's just trying to say. It turned out that I'm harder to forget than I was to live. And yeah, I bet that you think about me. And I love that before it was, I think, was it I that was doing the living? Oh god. Where is it? I'm harder to forget than I was to live. Okay. It's I that was still doing the living. But still, I love how it's kind of turns around. I know still again still ties on to the fact that you don't know what you have until you lose it. And this person, honestly, I feel he has lost gold. He has lost a diamond, or he has lost a very important gem in his life. So let's keep going. Where are we? Okay, still again, I bet you think about me. Yes, I bet. I'm so in love with this repetition, almost in every sentence or every verse. I bet you think about me. 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 It almost feels very hopeful that I'm doing the thinking of um for me. Yes, it feels hopeful that the speaker is hoping that you think about me. But let's be honest, I believe the ex was thinking about her. So let's continue. I bet you think about me when you are out at your cool indie. I think these two lines, this was it. Okay, this verse was one of my favorite verse because God, it shows the really sarcastic. It's very sarcastic in a way. But let's read this. I bet you think about me when you are out at your cool indie music concert every week. I bet you think about me in your house with your organic shoes and your $1 million couch. Let's talk. So the indie music is I don't know. I'm not a music expert, but I believe indie music should be like all this music written by somebody like Glass Animals, somebody like Halsey, somebody like Britney Spears. I'm not sure though. I think that should be pop. Oh god, I'm not sure, sha. But I feel you're cool indie music, and I love that it's every week. You can still emphasizing how rich this person is. I bet you think about me at your cool indie music. For crying out loud, you're at a concert to enjoy yourself, and then meanwhile, while at the concert, probably the speaker and oh yes, the speaker also loved the concert, and probably they went to this concert together too when they were together. Um, and then now that he's going to the concert alone, I bet that you are thinking about me. You miss me at that point. I bet you think about me in your house. In this whole verse, this line is my favorite. I really love this line with your organic shoe and your $1 million couch. I bet you think about me in your house with your organic shoes and $1 million. It feels very sarcastic in a way because I don't know, can a couch be a million worth $1 million? It could be okay, it could be a couch would worth $1 million, but you have your $1 million couch, you have your organic shoe. I bet that you think about me, even with all those nonsense you have, isn't nonsense, even with all those glamorous lifestyle add-ons you have. I still bet you think about me, even with your organic shoes. I love that organic shoe. Organic shoes should be rare. Imagine a shoe that turns to most shoes are usually the skin or the leather used to make all the shoes are usually um some of them may be made of plastic, some of them may be synthetic, some of them may be fake, and then organic shoes, and then your $1 million house. I don't know. It feels sassy. It feels very sarcastic in a way. I bet that you think about me even with all these things littered around your house. You know, I bet you think about me when you say, "Oh my God, she's insane. She wrote a song about me." I bet you think about me. I feel this whole song, is her reference. The speaker or the ex now trying to say, "Oh, she's crazy. She wrote a song about me." I bet you think about me. So anyway, so far I believe so. That's the end of the analysis. For me, this song reminds me of I think the major theme of this poem or this song is that you don't know what you have until you lose it. And I would say you should try and watch the music video. It's very insightful. It brings to life the whole story of this song. So Thank you for being here with me. If you enjoyed this analysis, consider liking, consider sharing, and consider subscribing to our channel. And we'll see you next time. And I remain Augustine Matthew. Thank you.